Buenas, gente del canal, gente de YouTube. Estamos aquí en el episodio número 12, justo donde lo dejamos. Perdón, teníamos que hablar con Richard y con Clayton, que son el periodista y el poeta, ¿no? Un periodista y un poeta. Gente está ahí tirada, me da un mal rollo. Y recordar que esto está cerrado. Así que vamos a intentar volver a entrar, pero nos va a decir que nada. Me imagino que hasta que no hagamos la misión no se abrirá. Así que vamos por a este, que parece que está más cerca.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Invítame a
Your
entrar.
father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only
A lo mejor no los podemos zampar.
suffering in this world?
La casa de los Perton. Vamos a robarle todo lo que podamos primero. Ya sabéis, como buen invitado que soy, entro y robo todo lo que pueda.
It's locked, all right.
Está cerrado. Mira, ahí hay otro. Que ahora hablaremos con él. Rechazo de empleo. Estimado señor Peterson, es mi deber informarte de la imposibilidad de aceptar su solicitud para un puesto de trabajo en el astillero. Le agradecemos, no obstante, el tiempo dedicado a explicarnos la dificultad de su situación, con su hijo enfermo y la desgracia perdida de su adorable esposa. Pero también es mi deber informarme acerca de la política de nuestra compañía, que explícitamente rechaza el empleo de antiguos criminales o convictos. Sus desafortunados vínculos con los infames West Bot Boys, que es la banda del otro, ¿os acordáis? Del que ya nos lo zampamos, ha llegado a nuestros oídos. Vivimos tiempos difíciles, señor, y en Finch and Hopper siempre intentamos recompensar primero a los candidatos que superen la pequeña encuesta que planteamos a nuestros futuros empleados. Le compadezco profundamente y espero que Dios le acompañe a usted y a su familia. Saludos cordiales, R.D. Hopper. Vale. Le rechazaron el puesto. Cazadores de vampiros profesionales. Si alguna vez sospecháis que alguien sea un vampiro, no tratéis de matarlo por vuestros propios medios. No tendréis la más mínima posibilidad. En su lugar, intentad poneros en contacto conmigo o informad a un cazador de vampiros profesional. Estos hombres y mujeres no son demasiado comunes, pero saben lo que hay que hacer contra estas diabólicas criaturas. Parece incluso que algunos de ellos colaboran bajo el nombre de la Guardia de Springwood, una organización paramilitar dedicada a la erradicación de los vampiros en Londres. Son nuestros amigos. Son vuestros amigos. No estáis solos. La solución está ahí. Sed inteligentes. Difundid la palabra. Clear and close. Para información, contactad directamente conmigo. Para más información. Vale. O sea, hay un grupo paramilitar que se dedica a intentar matar a los vampiros. Pues bien, entonces, ¿no? Bien por ellos. Porque conmigo no van a poder. Señor, ¿de dónde estaba usted?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Vamos a ver, su vida en Londres. ¿Cómo te
How do you
encuentras?
feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to
Bueno,
live?
bonito no es.
I'm sure your father did his best when he found this house. Times are tough for everyone, young man.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
Porque no,
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living
Tío muy
I'm
listo.
afraid of.
Vale. A ver qué te pasa, por cierto. Agotamiento, te puedo curar. Ahora te intento curar. Vamos, ahora te doy para que te cures.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
Can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my
Como si no
place.
encontrase en mi lugar. Para nada.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Claro. Tienes que salir más, chico. A ver. Te va a curar, me caes bien, tío.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
De nada, tío.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
A ver, señor.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
A ver, ¿cómo va el negocio?
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Madre mía.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Vale.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Vale, entonces son los otros locos estos. Tú estás sano, ok. Preguntas personales no tengo ninguna. Vamos a preguntarte por la doctora.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Claro. Muy bien hecho está. A ver qué vendes tú.
Show me what you have.
Vale, tú también tienes movidas de estas. Pero bueno, voy a comprarte uno de estos, pero ya está. No te compro nada más porque no tengo para más.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down.
Tú, que estás meando ahí, ¿qué pasa?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Estás sano, así que...
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you've made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Vale.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe?
Este debe ser el padre
You know
del
it
chico.
doesn't suit you.
It's
No,
true, I
gente.
hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
No te ves arrestado. No se arrepiente
Do
de
you
nada.
have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Chico, ¿cómo te pones así?
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Claro, chato. Estás bien tú y no te puedo todavía cautivar. No sé si te comeré, pero bueno, tienes
Goodbye,
papeletas.
Mr. Peterson.
La verdad. A ver.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Even my
Ya me dejas pasar porque te he curado, tío.
with glue.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Claro, tío.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Que no, tío, estás muy equivocado.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Que lo había visto antes y digo, Detalles, este de momento nada, pero tenemos estos como amigos. Podemos intentar hablar con él. Pero es pista bloqueada. A ver, vamos a hablar con él. Bueno, como veis aquí el barrio ya empezamos a verle. A ver más gente de este barrio, ¿vale? De este todavía no conocemos a nadie. De este ya, como veis, hay gente que tiene bronquitis. Esta está sana. Este le estamos curando. Y este tiene migrañas. Y este le estamos curando. A ver si curando a estos dos subimos a estable, gente. Este es el otro que está sano, que de momento me preocupa menos. Tiene cefalea. 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 Y cefalea, madre mía. Este aquí, que conocemos a estos cuatro solo. Agotamiento. Y este no conocemos a nadie. Te vamos a hablar con este, pero puede que no consigamos nada. Porque, como sabemos que era amigo del otro. Aquí. Vamos a preguntarle sobre... Bueno, Joe primero, era amigo suyo.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life. Especially after the loss of a loved one.
Claro, pero bueno.
But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Ok.
Price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Ah, este es el coloso este. Vamos a ver, gente. Aquí hay otra mujer. ¿De qué te escondes, señora?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a
¿Si
doctor,
es una prosti?
Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Madre mía, chiquilla. Qué sutileza. Tiene agotamiento, no te puedo curar. Esta sí que tiene experiencia. Sobre su salud.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Chiquilla, está un poquito... Hábleme de usted,
Tell
anda.
me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Many people must deal with poverty, but not all choose to sell their bodies. That was your decision.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Bueno, vale, chica. Perdone usted.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Vale, pues ya tenemos todo. Así que te vamos a dejar porque tú estás sana. Bueno, estás agotada, pero no tenemos para darte. Y cautivar mucho.
Goodbye, miss.
Esta es una buena
Take care of
intención,
yourself
de
as best you can.
experiencia. Ya veremos, a ver. Ahí hay un tío que no me gusta ni un pelo.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for this.
I'm cheap and I'm clean,
Va a ser este. Ah, no, si esto es un cura. Mira aquí, señor.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father
Tobias.
Tobias Whitaker is always happy
Whitaker.
to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Estás sano.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Le escucho.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Con fuego purificador.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing?
A que quema la ciudad este loco.
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Pero tío, tampoco hay que quemar las calles.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Madre mía,
You
chico.
sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks
Lo van a
through the
comer.
valley
Lo van
of
a
the
cagar
shadow
agua.
of death.
Está loco este.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Madre mía, qué machista es, ¿no?
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Vale, pues ya está. 5. Este en cuanto pueda me lo como. Me cae fatal y además quiere quemar el barrio, así que... Chicos, para de llamar ya. Está el cura detrás.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Vale. ¿No le da miedo salir de
Have
noche?
you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
A ver, si decimos que existe una explicación racional, le estamos en teoría mintiendo, porque nosotros sabemos que no es toda la gripe, pero bueno, mi racionalismo se ha visto tocado últimamente, ahí lo podemos dejar medio a medio y decir que no es la simple epidemia. Vamos a darle a entender que... Ahí va. Me equivoqué de botón, perdona.
I will see you later.
Perdonar, gente.
Have you any idea
Lo que vamos a decirle, yo creo, es... Porque tampoco tenemos claro que sea... Que deban saber que hay vampiros. Entonces yo creo que existe una explicación racional, vamos a decirle. Bueno, no. Mi razonamiento, vamos a decirle como que ahí estamos.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
¿Qué está haciendo aquí tras la puesta de sol?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Arriesga su vida para revelar la verdad.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Vale. No hay trabajo para mí.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Vale. Preguntas personales no podemos hacerle ninguna. Vamos a decirle lo de sobre el dispensario médico clandestino.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Ok.
Do you need assistance?
Ah, me he vuelto a equivocar de botón.
Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
Sí, lo siento, tío.
I will see you later.
Este está agotado, ¿vale? Le tenemos que dar tratamiento. Ok.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Una carta en el buzón. Bueno, gente, lo vamos a dejar aquí. En el siguiente episodio iremos a ver la carta del buzón para intentar saber algo más sobre este tío. Y a ver si así conseguimos entrar y hablar con la doctora, que ya de por sí que esconda su nombre es raro, pero bueno. Y también a ver si encontramos al poeta y a ver qué nos dice, porque siempre va a verle, a ver si es familiar o algo tiene que ver ahí. El cura me parece un tío despreciable que quiere quemar el barrio, pero bueno, está un poco loco, ya veremos qué hacemos con él. La prostituta da mucha experiencia por lo que veo, pero bueno, de momento la dejaremos ahí, investigaremos un poquito más sobre su vida. Y los otros, pues bueno, el padre y el niño me da un poco de pena, el padre no sé muy bien si realmente se merece morir o no. Por una parte sí, porque pertenece a la banda, por otra está con el niño y no le vamos a dejar solo al niño, que luego no va a tener con quién estar. Bueno, aunque tiene al amigo de enfrente que le puede cuidar, no sé, gente, ya veremos. Y nada, lo dicho, espero que os esté gustando. Si es así, un like, compartirlo para que más gente lo vea. Y si ya sabéis, si no estáis suscritos, suscribiros al canal para estar a la última en los vídeos que voy a ir subiendo. Y nada, gente, nos vemos en la red. Chao.